What is going on, guys? Hades here, and today I have the Terminus Easter egg guide for dummies. So before we begin the game, I'm going to show you the most broken gun right now with the recent update in Season 3 Reloaded. The Maelstrom shotgun is the most broken gun in the game, and here is the loadout. So with your muzzle, full choke, underbarrel, Ranger foregrip, magazine extended mag 2, rear grip, ergonomic grip, stock, light stock, laser, steady aim laser, and for the fire mod, you want the 12 gauge Dragon's Breath. So hopping straight into the game, first things first, you want to power up the 3 generators. Generator 1 is located in spawn in the guard station. After powering up, you want to head down into the living quarters where you will find the 2nd generator. After this, follow the orange stars all the way down into the biolab where you will find the 3rd and final generator. After you complete powering this generator, you will hop down into the water and power up the incline lift, revealing Pack-a-Punch. Next up, you're going to need the Beam Smasher. I already have a Beam Smasher guide out on my channel for dummies, so if you want to watch that, you can pause this, or I'll give you a quick rundown here. Next up, you'll want to get Deadwire on your weapon. To get Deadwire on your weapon, you will actually need to find an arsenal machine. One can actually be located here inside the biolabs, so simply head into it and purchase Deadwire. After obtaining Deadwire, you want to head back to the incline lift and purchase it. You'll now notice as lifting, you'll see this window ahead of you. Aim and shoot this panel just here, turn right, shoot this panel here, turn right again, and behind the Pack-a-Punch will be a 3rd panel. Simply shoot that panel and jump off the lift. Now, coming back round to the room with Juggernog in, you'll see above the amp generator, another generator to shoot. Coming out towards the recreational yard, you'll see these double green doors here, with the final generator to shoot. After you've shot it, the green doors will open. Heading inside the room, you'll see a zombie just on the ground here. Simply shoot and kill the zombie, which will then drop the EMF fob. Once you've collected the EMF fob, the next step is actually to head over to the C tower. Once you're in the C tower, you'll want to go to the right of Elemental Pop. On this desk will be a case with a zombie hand. Interact. Opening will give you the multiphasic resonator. You'll actually notice a lot of vermin spawn in when you interact with this case, so just simply take care of all of the vermin. Once you have access to the multiphasic resonator, you'll want to head back to the lab that you just opened. Once you're in the lab, head over to this computer on the desk and interact. You'll notice when you interact with the machine again that you need to input a code. At the back of the room here, you'll find 2 whiteboards. The left one with symbols and the right one with an equation. So next up, you'll actually need to find 3 computers around the map to figure out which symbols you need. The first one can actually be located just outside the quick revive room on the platform here. Interacting, you'll have your first symbol. The second symbol can be found outside the control center with stamina up, just here. This will give you your next symbol. And for the final symbol, you'll want to head down to the bottom of the C tower, near the docks. At the top of the stairs here, you'll find your final computer, giving you the final symbol. Now that you have all 3 symbols, heading back into the lab, you'll go back to the computer you interacted with, which will then reveal the sticky notes. X, Y, and Z matching the symbols. Now you need to use the left-hand board to establish what symbols give you what number. There are actually multiple ways to complete this. You can actually bribe Peck for 5,000 points, and he will just give you the numbers that you need to complete this step. Ultimately, if you don't want to do that because maybe you're a bit stubborn and you don't want to spend the points, there's actually a link in the description to a website specifically made for this step of the Easter egg, which will help you. Simply click the symbols, which will give you the numbers you need to complete the step. I will leave a link in the description below. But if, like me, you want to complete the equation, then don't worry, I've got a way for you to do that very, very easily. So, as you can see on my sticky notes, X, Y, and Z with the symbols. So using the whiteboard on the left, we need to find the symbol that I have for X. There it is in the center. So, when you've found the symbol, you then need to look left and down. You need to see which numbers intercept that symbol. So, as on mine, it would be 1 and 1, which make 11. For Y, we have a circle on top of another circle. On mine, that would intercept at 1 and 0, making 10. For Z, we have a sort of fan-like symbol. Now on my board, that would be 2 and 2, making 22. Now that we have our symbols and the numbers representing them, so we can actually move on to solving the equation. So, to complete the first equation, you simply need to take X and times it by 2. So in my game, X equals 11. Times 11 by 2, you get 22. Then, simply add 11 on, giving me 33. The next equation, you simply need to take Z and times it by 2. In my game, Z is 22. Times 22 by 2, you get 44. Add on the Y, as in my game is 10, you get 54. Then go ahead and take away 5, which would give me 49. For the third and final equation, you'll want to take Y and add Z. So, take 10, add 22, you'll get 32. Then, take away the X. X being 11, you will be left with 21. Now that you have your 3 numbers, you'll want to head back to the lab. Once you're in the lab, simply go ahead and interact with the machine and input the numbers that you have. Once you've input your numbers correctly, you'll see the screen here trying to locate the next step. You'll simply want to end the round. Once you've ended the round, go back to the machine and pick up the multiphasic resonator from the computer. Once you collect the resonator, simply head down to the docks underneath the sea tower. Go ahead and get yourself a boat. Once in the boat, turn left at the docks and head over to this island ahead. Once you get closer to the island, you'll notice a blue orb ahead of you. Hop off the boat, head over to the blue orb and interact. For this next step, you'll want to actually train the zombies around and wait for the blue orb to shoot a blue beam at a zombie. Once it's hit a zombie, go ahead and eliminate said zombie. It will drop a blue orb you need to pick up and bring back to the blue orb. After doing that, simply wait for another zombie to be shot by the blue orb. Once you've passed on the second blue orb, the big blue orb will then fire away, leaving the multiphasic resonator for you to pick up. Once you pick that up, you want to head back to your boat and head back past the sea tower. Now, once you pass the sea tower, you'll see this island ahead of you. You'll see just over yonder a green orb. Simply head over to the green orb and interact again. Same rules apply, guys. It will shoot a green beam at a zombie. You'll want to locate and kill the green zombie. Killing the zombie will drop the green orb. Simply escort the orb back to the big orb, and again you'll need to do this a total of 2 times. Once you've collected the second orb and placed it back, again the big orb will shoot away, leaving the multiphasic resonator. Go ahead and collect the resonator and head back to your boat. Once on your boat, turn right and you'll see a shipwreck in the distance. Head towards the shipwreck and turn right. Heading off into the distance, you will actually see an island over to the right with a sort of temple Shangri-La kind of vibe. On this island, you will find the third and final orb. Head over to the orb and again interact using the resonator. Now you'll want to kill the purple zombies and take the orb back to the big orb. Again, once completing this 2 times, guys, this time the purple orb will disappear instead of flying away, this time leaving the amp munition. Go ahead and pick up the amp munition. After doing so, head back to your boat. Now that you have the amp munition, you simply want to head back to the lab that you opened earlier, head over to this table with the beam smasher on and interact to craft. And hey presto, you've just obtained yourself a free beam smasher. Now that you have your beam smasher, you basically want to head around the map and look for one of the 3 tentacle door traps. One of them in your game will be broken, and it will look like this. Once you found it, simply activate the trap and use the beam smasher to shoot the tentacles up above. The tentacles will then drop a hard drive. Select the hard drive and take it back to Peck. Give Peck the hard drive, and now you need to find a code hidden around the map. These 3 locations are the same in every single game, but the numbers change. The first code you need is actually just out of spawn here by Quick Revive. In this window, you can look out and you will see a clock. You want to look for the hour hand, or if you don't understand, the small hand. If the small hand is between 2 numbers, it's always the lower number. The second number is down in the mess hall on this wall, on a playing card. The last number is actually down in the engineering room on this last injury sign. So take your 3 numbers and head down into the biolab. Interact with the chamber in the center of the room. Once the keypad on the device becomes available, simply enter your numbers. Then interact with one of the valves to the side of the keypad. This will start a mini boss fight. Using your maelstrom, you should be able to melt this guy almost instantly. After defeating Nathan and ending the cutscene, you need to dive down into the water to find this keycard. After collecting the keycard, you will need to head out to the ship out in the sea. Climb the ladder underneath the boat. Inside this room you will find 2 node connectors. After interacting with one of the node connectors, it will start a mini lockdown. Not to worry, as this lockdown isn't actually all that difficult, even on solo. After completing the lockdown, it will drop a max ammo. You will now need to take both node connectors to 2 of 3 locations around the map. I will show you those locations now. Location 1 is across from the shipwreck on Crab Island here, the second is underneath the sea tower, and the third and final one is inside of the sea caves. After placing both nodes in the available spaces, you will now need to head back to Peck. Eventually Peck will give you a hacking device. You now need to take this hacking device out into the sea. Using a boat, head to one of 3 buoys, or buoys. Interact and it will bring out the hacking device. Once you hack it, it will start a countdown where you will need to go and find 2 other buoys. Don't panic, as you get about 2 minutes to do this. They're not difficult to find. Once you hack all 3 of the buoys, you now need to head back to the biolab. You should now have another countdown timer where you need to defuse the 3 bombs before time runs out. 2 bombs are located either side of Melee Macchiato on the bottom floor, and the third and final one is located above those. I would recommend using Ether Shroud as well as decoys and or monkey bombs to distract the zombies long enough to allow you to defuse the bombs. Sentry guns are also pretty decent for helping to defend you while you defuse. So after defusing all 3 of the bombs, you are now boss fight ready. Before you head in though, I would recommend having a triple packed legendary weapon as well as a 3-plate plate vest. So once you head in the boss fight, you simply want to stay in the center and maneuver around this central area, looking at patient 13, waiting for the red blisters to appear. Simply unleash the Maelstrom's full power on the blisters, and you will see the melting happen. You will eventually leave, and that will be the first phase complete. Simply maneuver around the center area and eliminate any enemies that you need to, as they will drop more equipment and armor plates if necessary. Once he pops out for the second phase, you will need to shoot him in the mouth. Again, this Maelstrom will absolutely melt his health completely. Eventually, the second phase should be now complete. While normally he would swap to a other mini phase where you need to shoot the tentacles, you should have done enough damage to completely negate this phase. If not, just shoot the tentacles. He'll now leave to complete that second phase. Again, repeat with the killing enemies in that central platform to drop plates and or other equipment if necessary. Also, you should see how fast this gun even melts amalgams in this fight. Once he pops back out for the third and final phase, you just simply need to hit him in the eyes and also any other weaker points on his body. But by aiming for the eyes, you'll notice you do a lot of crit damage. And again, his health will absolutely melt down, and before you know it, hey presto, patient 13 down. Easter egg complete, and there's your Terminus Easter egg guide for dummies. So I really hope this helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to smash that like button. I would really appreciate it. If you're new, subscribe and click that notification bell, and please share the video out with people you know. Anyone who hasn't seen the channel before, I would really appreciate it. And if you want to join our Discord server, the link is in the description below. Other than that, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon or evening, and I will see you all on the next one. Hades out.